Hey everyone, here on the show, our team is constantly on the prowl, looking for new destinations, new fishing adventures, new species of fish to catch, and new places to catch them. Coming up in the next half hour, we have just that for you. Our first trip to a Tennessee bass fishing lake that's got some very strange things going on. We're going to talk about it all coming up because Fox Sports Outdoors is on the air right now.
You're watching the only program with weekly fishing reports and real-time outdoor news from the Southeast region. This is Fox Sports Outdoors.
Hey everyone, we're coming to you today from the volunteer state of Tennessee, home of some great bass fishing, and we have some for you coming up. Now I've brought the NITRO Z20 and the Mercury Pro XS 4-stroke out onto a lake that I've never seen before in my entire life. But if you pin me down, my very favorite style of fishing is fishing light tackle in deep, clear water for bass. And we got 3 different species of bass to fish for right here behind me. Beautiful setting, mountains falling off into this really deep water that's normally clear, but we've got something strange going on. By the way, this is Center Hill Reservoir. It's located about an hour to the east of Nashville, Tennessee, just outside the little town of Smithville, and it's the home of smallmouth bass, largemouth bass, and spotted bass, all 3. We're going to fish for all of those, but we've got a little quirk that's happened here. We're going to have to work around it, and I'll explain more coming up. While I'm out doing that, we're taking you around your local region for this week's fishing reports from our expert team of insider reporters, both saltwater and freshwater fishing from lakes, rivers, and bays right where you live. Your fishing report for this coming weekend. So the next time you see me, I'll be out there floating around, hopefully with a fish on the end of my line. Right now, let's get things started a long way from here, back at the FSN studio with your weekend planner.
Hey everyone, it looks like both days of the weekend will offer good fishing conditions. The Solunar tables are indicating peak activity will take place roughly around dawn and dusk on Saturday and Sunday. Plan to be on the water either early or late for the best action. Expect the sun to rise at 7:15 and set at 7:30. And evenings will feature a last quarter moon that is 57% visible. Stay with us, we've got fishing reports from across the area on the way. Plus, catfishing expert Chad Ferguson pops by to answer your Ask the Pro question. Back in a bit.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by MotorGuide's wireless and easy-to-use XI3. Waypoint Marine, the Gulf Coast's leading saltwater boating specialist. Strike King, Taiwan on. NITRO Performance Fishing Boats, because champions aren't born, they're made.
All right. Hey, there is my first Center Hill Lake bass, and it's a good one too. There we go. I got one. I got one. Come in here. Oh, what a jump. Man. What a gorgeous fish in that clear water. Nice largemouth. Nice largemouth. There we go. All right. Hey, there is my first Center Hill Lake bass, and it's a good one too. Look at that dude. All right. Hey, welcome back everybody. We've made it out and had something good happen early on. This is, boy, that's a nice one. That's about a 4-pound largemouth, something like that. Just a specimen right there. We're gonna let her go back. Swim on, darling, in that clear water. I didn't get all the fight out of her. Okay, we've made it out on Center Hill, and I've just kind of started looking around. I don't know if you can hear this. Got frogs chirping in the background. Got a real pretty morning, kind of a partly cloudy day, and the water here is really clear. And let me give you a few facts about Center Hill Lake. Again, I've never been here. My first trip, it's a 18,000 surface acre lake, but it's got 450 miles of shoreline. What that tells you is it's got creeks and pockets and ditches and canyons running all off in every direction. The major tributaries are the Caney Fork and the Falling Water rivers. It's got 190 feet of water max depth, so it's a real deep lake. It's got 3 species of bass in it: largemouth, smallmouth, and spotted bass. And I'd love to be able to catch all 3. There's a largemouth to start with. But it's a real different lake. You've got to fish it differently because of the depth change. You can literally be 10, 15 feet off the shore and be in 100+ feet of water. So we're in for a good next few minutes hanging here. I'm going to fish on down this kind of steep 45-degree sloping bank, pitching little plastic baits in here and working them down that edge. See if we can catch another one.
Hey folks, it's time for your Carolinas Report this week, brought to you by Crazy Sister Marina. Come down, let us book your trip for the fall. We'll take care of anything you want to do. You want to get out and kayak, do a nature tour, come down and just enjoy what we offer here in Murrells Inlet in the Grand Strand area. Crazy Sister Marina can take care of that. Visit crazysistermarina.com. I'll tell you what, we're going to talk about freshwater this week, and you know what, the temperatures are falling, and it's my favorite time to get out and target the greenfish or bass inland. I'll tell you what, Santee, Watery, Cooper, places that you can get out right now and you get bigger baits, you're going to catch bigger fish. You know, I'm saying that because this cooler temperature, these fish are going to really want to start feeding. They know what's coming down the road. They're going to start eating bigger meals. You know, I've been a big buzz bait thrower for the last couple weeks, last couple months, but I'm going to start moving in some bigger baits. Definitely going to start throwing some square bills, and definitely going to start throwing some vibrating jigs this time of the year. Big spinner baits work as well, but I tell you what, if you're on the Cooper River, if you're on Santee, if you're on the Waccamaw River, make sure you don't forget to concentrate on any of those ditch mouths. Those fish are going to be sitting there waiting on that meal that's going to stack up right there with the bait fish. This has been your Carolinas Report, brought to you by Crazy Sister Marina. Remember, fish smarter, not harder, and keep your chaos organized.
Here's one. Got him. Spotty. Got me a spotted bass. Come up in here. Gorgeous. And a mad fish too, a mad fish too. Look at that mad spotted bass. Okay. Oh, don't you do it. Man, that fish is upset. He did not want to be caught. There's a spotted bass for you from Center Hill Lake. That's a Tennessee spot. Man, they grow big here too. There are some giants that get caught here. That's a good size one, no giant or anything, but just a fantastic fish. Now, go be mad out there somewhere. See you, buddy. Let me tell you something interesting about Center Hill Lake. They had some problems with the dam here, and so they dropped the water level 30 feet a couple of years ago. Spent a couple of years working on the dam and just got it finished at the end of 2018. So in a short window of time, they shut the gates, and this lake has caught 30 feet of water. So that's done 2 things. One is it's dirtied the water up quite a bit. All the runoff into the lake, this water's a lot dirtier than it normally is. The second thing that it did though is it repositioned all the fish. The fish have got all this new water. So they're having to move up with the water level as it rises. So according to some of the locals, the fishing's been really tough here ever since they closed the gates and started raising that water level. I'm actually catching a few fish today, and you can see I'm trying to stay on the steeper banks. Why? Because when the water rises and falls rapidly, the fish don't have to move as far if they're on a steeper bank. If you're on a flat bank, that water rises 30 feet, it could move a half a mile. Those fish may have to move a half a mile to stay up with it. Here, all they've got to do is just rise up that sharp sloping bank, fall back down. If the water falls, they're a lot more comfortable. So that's kind of one of the keys I'm concentrating on today, is trying to stay on these sharper slope banks, and I'm just fishing down it with soft plastics. I'll show you all the gear and all the bait a little bit later. Because the water's a little dirtier, I can get away with some braided line and a little heavier line. Yes! Wow! So as you can see, what I'm doing is I'm just using the wind to my advantage. There's one. Oh, that feels like a good fish. What is this? Yeah, it's a good one. Wow, spinnerbait fish. Largemouth. There we go. Yes! Wow, my buddy Crispin Powley lives about 3 hours from here, and he told me throw a spinnerbait on steep bluff banks. See you, bud. Yes. So as you can see, what I'm doing is I'm just using the wind to my advantage and I'm using the shade to my advantage. This clear water back in here. So I've got wind on this bank and I've got shade. That's real key here. Do not just automatically go for the protected bank. Go on the side with the wind blowing into it. And as soon as that sun breaks behind these big high mountain trees here, you'll always have one side of the lake that's got shade on it. Now there are some real steep bluffs, and they're the ones that have got the 100-foot plus water on them, but those will hold smallmouth, largemouth, and spotted bass, all three as well. And I see actually a lot of locals out there fishing these real steep bluff banks, just straight down walls. But the key is you want to fish the side that's got the shade on it and the side that's got the wind, and those fish will come up out of deep water. My boat's sitting at about 18 to 20 feet of water right here. And these fish are coming up out of this deeper water and grabbing a spinnerbait. Man, that's a lot of fun right there.
Hey guys, welcome to this week's Tennessee, Mississippi, and Alabama Fishing Report. As always, it's brought to you by Can Cooker. Go over to cancooker.com, check out their website, and look for all the different products they make to enhance your eating. I don't care if you're at home, fishing trip, hunting trip, tailgate, party, no matter where you go, vacation, the beach, and you will enjoy your food like never before. Check them out at cancooker.com. We're talking primarily about late summertime hot weather patterns. I've been talking about that the last couple weeks, and I've probably got a few more weeks to go. I have seen some relief in the forecast though in the next couple weeks, so we're hoping for a cool off. Right now in Mississippi, I'm gonna go to Ross Barnett. I'm gonna throw a buzz bait, a topwater, maybe a spinnerbait, and flip some soft plastic around shallow cover. I might go to Grenada, Enid, Sardis, and pull crankbaits. I got a buddy from up here in Tennessee who's been going down there and crushing them every week, just big ones. If I'm in Alabama, I'm probably gonna be watching TVA.com and their current flow. I'm going to Gunnersville and I'm fishing grass. I'm fishing the outside edges where deep water and shallow water meet, and I'm looking for current and I'm looking for bait fish. Probably gonna flip a bunch. I'm gonna throw a frog a bunch. In Tennessee, probably still night fishing. I'm gonna go to Center Hill and Dale Hollow. I'm gonna throw a big black spinnerbait with a Colorado blade, depending on the moon phase as to what color of the blade. But look at secondary points, look at creek channels that swing up against the bank, and that's where most of your fish are gonna be. And this is the way it's gonna be until it starts to cool off. You can still catch them, but you gotta try. Stay cool. We'd love to see you here. God bless.
Buck Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Mercury, Go Boldly, Lowrance, America's #1 fish finder, Balls Out, made in the USA, heavy-duty mounts for your fish finders.
There's a very healthy specimen right there, dark color, big old mouth. There's a good one. Down, down. Oh, these are some wild old fish here at Center Hill. Roll over here, roll over here. There we go. Another good one. Man, we have caught some good quality bass today. That's a largemouth. Just caught a good mix. Got spots, some smallmouth. I'm still looking for a good smallmouth. Let him swim back, or her swim back. All right. You know, boat position is really critical here. Anytime you're on a reservoir that's got these real steep banks like this, you'll notice that I am keeping my boat close in to the shore here. You've got to stay on your trolling motor. And instead of staying out and throwing in at the shore, you want to position your boat in here close, kind of like this, and then make your cast back out in front of the boat like this. Boat position's really key. If you sit out, you're liable to be sitting out there in 40, 50 feet of water in some cases, maybe even more, and your bait stays out of the strike zone a lot of the time because the fish are going to be on that drop off. So push your boat in here, keep it in here close, and that way your line is coming down parallel to the strike zone, not across it, and your bait stays in that strike zone where the fish are and where it can get bit. A whole lot easier. I'm watching my Lowrance HDS live here, and I'm trying to keep my boat out in about 10, 12 feet of water and pulling it down that strike zone.
Well, we're reaching the end of the summer fishing season, and that means that the tarpon fishing is red hot along the southeast coast. I'll have all the details in just a minute, but first this from our good friends at Foreshore Transportation. Foreshore Transportation, the simple solution to all your freight hauling needs. Foreshore can ship freight across the country or across the state. Whatever the load, wherever the destination, Foreshore gets it done fast, safe, and hassle-free. Georgia tarpon fishing is on fire. These fish are huge along the southeast coast of Georgia. They're 5 to 7 feet long. They weigh 80 to 200 pounds. They are tough, strong, and jump as high as a boat T-top. Captain Greg Hildreth in St. Simon's Island is on top of them. He's catching tarpon every day when the weather's right. He's fishing in the Golden Isles area, southeast Georgia, primarily using bait. In addition to tarpon, they'll catch bull sharks and spinner sharks, black tips, and the black tips and spinners jump like crazy, and they're fun to catch too, and it's a good tryout for catching tarpon later on. Over in Mississippi, it's triple tail, still catching plenty of 5 to 20 pound fish, primarily south of the islands and around the tide rips and shoals. Matt Holtz over in Pascagoula, Mississippi, had 35 slot redfish before 10 a.m. one morning, fishing the south side of the marshes. Bull redfish also are on fire along the southeast coast. They're catching plenty of them in Mississippi, south of the islands, in Alabama, around in Mobile Bay on Dixie Bar, and also on the shoals of southeast Georgia, around the St. Simon's Island area. Well, that's it for the southeast coast. Get out in the water and take a youngster with you when you go.
There's one. There we go. Decent fish. Right on that bluff wall. Right where he's supposed to be. There we go. Well, it's actually starting to get late in the day now, and that shade is broken over on this bluff wall, and exactly what we talked about. There is one more Center Hill Lake fatty for you right there, just another largemouth. Well, I wanted to catch you a nice smallmouth. I thought maybe late in the day we might do it. We actually did catch several smallmouths today, but they were just 2 pound or so fish, so nothing really worth showing on camera, but it's been a great day. One thing I want to mention getting out of here is that if you want to come and do some of this fishing, you want a great place to stay with a great cause, then you need to look up the Retreat at Center Hill. It's located about mid-lake, got great cabins, restaurant that's open on weekends, got boat slips, got electricity, beautiful setting right on the side of a big mountain overlooking the water, and even better than all that, it's for a great cause. The Timothy Hill Ministries help underprivileged, abused, neglected, and troubled teenagers get themselves back on the right track. They take these kids in, they put them on these working ranches, they teach them discipline, responsibility, and they get them set up for a much better life than they would ever have otherwise. So you can come stay here, bring your family reunion here, bring a corporate outing here. We stayed here and loved every minute of it.
You can always watch our latest episode on the front page of our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com. Catch up on past episodes and learn about fishing techniques and new gear at our how-to page. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter for new fishing videos every day. Simply search for Fox Sports Outdoors and click the like button on Facebook and the follow button on Twitter, and watch a new episode every week on any device by downloading the free Waypoint TV app on your phone, tablet, computer, or smart TV. Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Gulf Shores and Orange Beach. Request our free 2019 fishing guide at orangebeach.com. Lose, feel the difference. Gene LaRue and Bobby Garland, the best in bass and crappie lures, heads to tails. Glacier Glove, stay outdoors longer with our gloves, hats, and shades.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time for the Ask the Pro question. This week, Trey would like to know, what is the best bait to use for catfish? For an answer, we asked catfishing expert Chad Ferguson.
The best bait for catching channel catfish is typically going to be the primary forage fish in your home waters. Usually that's going to be shad or skipjack herring. Cut those up into chunks and fish them as cut bait, and that's going to be your best option when targeting larger channel catfish. Now, if you're after numbers of catfish, you're not so concerned about size, you just want to catch a lot of fish and you want to catch them fast, then the best option is going to be a stink bait, as some people would call them, or a prepared catfish bait.
Thank you, Chad. If you have a question for one of the pros, simply visit our website, click on the Ask the Pro link, and send it in. Now let's check out the latest Big Catch of the Week winner.
We are back at the boat docks at the retreat at Center Hill, and it's time right now for someone to get their big fish photo shown on television in this week's Big Catch of the Week contest. This week's winner is Daniel Ornduff of Elizabethton, Tennessee, showing a 7-pound largemouth bass he caught at Watauga Lake, Tennessee. If you'd like to be our next winner, just go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Fox Sports Outdoors. Go to our Tuesday post and click comment, add your big fish onto the comment along with the information we request on where the fish was caught, your name, your city, all of those particulars, and you just might be our next winner. Next up on our gear segment, I want to show you some of the tools that you can use to catch the bass like we did on this week's show here at Center Hill, Tennessee. And it begins with the most castable, durable, smooth rod and reel that Lew's has ever introduced to the market. It's the top end Lew's Team Lew's Speed Stick Pro TI rod and the Team Lew's Pro TI reel. The reel is a low profile reel made of titanium, very light, very strong frame, fits perfectly in the palm of your hand. It has 2 different anti-backlash mechanisms. It's got the speed dial that lets you know what line you've put on that reel, the speed keeper that you can flip out. It's got the wind dry tack grips on both the reel and the rod. It's the perfect all-around rod and reel combo. I ground it for 2 days over the last couple of days, and I was super impressed with this rig catching these bass. As far as the baits go, we used several of them. For the plastic baits, we used a Gene LaRue tattletale worm. We just stuck a hook through it, rigged it weightless, and twitched it around these shallow shorelines. Then for the deeper fish, we worked down these rock banks with the Gene LaRue hammer craw rigged, Texas rigged. And then for dragging a spinnerbait, we caught some really nice fish doing that. This is the Strike King Premier Plus spinnerbait. Got a Colorado and a gold willow leaf blade, and that's a chartreuse and pearl white color. Hey guys, want to impress your wife or girlfriend? Take her out on a date night, but not just the usual dinner and movies. Take her out to a bookstore. That's right, a bookstore, the kind with real books with real paper pages that you really turn. There are all kinds of interesting subjects for guys there too. Fiction, history, sports, even self-help. You might just be shocked at how much fun it can be. I can get lost for hours in a real bookstore. Take her there and you might just win some extra brownie points with your girl. Thanks for joining us on this week's show from beautiful Center Hill Lake, just outside Smithville, Tennessee. We enjoyed our first trip here, catching 3 different species of bass. There's also crappie, catfish, stripers, hybrids, white bass, a little bit of everything swims in this lake behind me. You would enjoy a trip here. And if you'd like to stay where we stayed, the retreat at Center Hill is your place. And every time you book a property here, your money goes to support a great cause to help troubled teenagers. Thanks for joining us on this week's show. See you next week. Till then, I'm Barry Stokes. Be safe, have fun. Bye-bye, y'all.